How's it going, everybody? Doing a gum chewing review of the second episode of the Halo show. Sorry, I'm in this raggedy shirt. It's my sleeping shirt. I will say I probably should have reviewed this, or at least filmed them. Maybe not put them up immediately, but film them like right after I watch them because I'll forget stuff. I watched this episode last Thursday. I'll admit that this episode was weaker than the first. This is more kind of, you got a little backstory on the Master Chief and him, a little bit of, kind of like story, kind of progression and stuff. It starts off with, once again, there'll be spoilers here. I'm going to remember this the best I can. I was going to look it up on Wikipedia, but I'll try to remember it best I can. But it'll start off with the Chief younger, and I guess he's in like the facility where they, train Spartans and fucking do all the fucking experiments and shit to them, modifications, whatever. And he meets a buddy that's outside, and this buddy's going to escape. I forget his name. But he's going to jet out, and he tells Master Chief, or John, he's like, come on, This is a young Master Chief, obviously, so he's not Master Chief yet, but he's obviously in the program. And the Spartan program, whatever, and I was like, come on, let's go, and Master Chief, like, pulls a gun on him. He's like, no, we can't leave. That's not right. You can't do that. And the guy's like, no, it's exactly how they want you to think, He's like, the stuff they do to us, it's messed up and all this shit. So he doesn't go with them, but he gives him 5 minutes to leave, and he's going to tell everybody that he left, or whatever. So that happens, and it flashes back to present day, or whatever. There's a scene, actually, it's kind of a cool scene, with all, like, the military people and Halsey, and both Keyes are there, Miranda and Captain Keyes. I don't know if the one guy's Admiral Hood or not. I couldn't remember what they called him, if they called him anything. But they're all there having a discussion on what to do with Master Chief and stuff, and they're talking about, like, Cortana and shit. Or, like, the whatever she's, her newest fucking, thing, invention, whatever you want to call it, And that was kind of a cool scene. You see them all on, like, this big table talking, and they mention the Covenant and stuff, and how the Spartans, like, their best shot against the Covenant, the only kind of successful thing against the Covenant and stuff. That was kind of a cool scene. And I can't remember the other woman's name. She's kind of like another head person who kind of, is in contact with Halsey a lot. But she talks with Miranda Keyes briefly. Miranda Keyes is like, oh, that's my thing. Because they still want this artifact, and they want to know what it does. The one, from the first episode, where Master Chief touches it, and he sees his past, pretty much. So that scene happens, and, because they're kind of like, what do we do with Master Chief? And she's like, listen, we can't fucking kill him and shit, because, that's like our fucking pet, And, then it goes to, actually, there's a scene, I don't know if this scene's before, whatever. I said spoilers. You actually get to see the 3 prophets this time, and this is the only Covenant scene, too. I'm pretty sure it was the only Covenant scene, which is kind of disappointing. I want to see, like, more of the Covenant shit, I really do, like, I think it's a little more, I want to see, like, more of their stuff, and stuff from their side, point of view, whatever. But it's the scene with that woman again, the human woman, and, the elite that found, saw Master Chief use the artifact. He's reporting back to all 3 of the prophets are there now. Was it Mercy, Regret, and is it Truth? Truth, Mercy, and Regret. They all look really good. Like I said, the Arbiter, sorry, the elite is there, and he still looks, I don't know, I gotta get used to them because they don't look natural in the scenes, is how I guess I should say it. They look good, like they look like an elite, but they don't look like they fit in the scenes because they look almost a little bit like they were forced in there, like it's weird, it's hard to explain. just doesn't look natural. But the three, Mercy, Regret, Truth, all look actually really fucking good. So I want to see more. It's like, give me fucking more of the Covenant species, And like I said, once again, I'm gonna say this again now. You gotta, I don't want to say lower your expectations, but don't expect the games and shit, because it's gonna fucking ruin it for you. Like, I'll admit, I am enjoying it even with this episode, which I didn't like as much because it was more narrative based, But anyway, this scene, they're talking, and the woman, like the lady wants to know, she's like, oh, what did he do? Because she apparently can control these things too. These Forerunner artifacts. I don't think they're calling them Forerunner. The Covenant might know what they are, but I don't think the humans do. And she's like, you know what? I want to go get this artifact. Like, she wants to get it, and the three prophets like, no, you can't. You're too important. Because she thinks, they think she's going to turn on them. I don't know what the backstory here is either. Like, if they kind of brainwashed her, or she's just like, they're right. What they want is right. But she wants to go do it. And now there was stuff in the trailer. More spoiler. I mean, if you saw this trailer, you would have seen this with her, like, using hunter worms, the worms that form a hunter. I assume that's going to happen next episode. I don't know. But she eventually convinces him to go. She'll go take the mission on because they're afraid. It's an important mission. They don't want to get hurt. But she's like, I'll do it. And I'm pretty sure she convinces him. Now, once again, I said this the last review. I was like, if his helmet's on more than it isn't, his helmet was almost off like this whole fucking episode. It pretty much you just saw his face. Once again, though, I'm getting more and more used to it. Like I said, the guy's face to me says Master Chief. Like, I feel like, I can picture him being the Master Chief, so that doesn't bother me. Like, and then I was talking to somebody else about this. It is kind of funny because the suits, like the Spartan suits, all look good, but they almost look a little out of place as well compared to everything else. But anyway, Master Chief and I think it's Quan Ha. I think her first name's Quan. They go and they visit. They go to this, kind of asteroid field type thing. Because there's still, I think it was a Pelican, right, that he was using. I know the names of ships, but I don't know, like, which one is which. And they go, and they meet his old friend that escaped. I guess he still knows him. And they go, and he meets him on this, like, asteroid kind of planet. And it's kind of cool, actually. There's a brief scene where he's walking, and everybody's looking at him like, oh, fuck, what's the Spartan doing here? And then they push this thing in front of him, and he, like, moves it out of the fucking way. And his buddy sees him, and he's like, if he wanted you dead, you'd be dead. But this look that they had, this, like, brief kind of look, reminded me of the Deus Ex games. It had that kind of look to it. But this guy, like, runs this city, or he's a leader, and they go on this cool little thing. It's like a tram, and it goes out on, like, a wire, and it goes into his, like, own personal asteroid, and he's there with his kid and his wife. And they're discussing stuff, and he tells them about the artifact thing. And, the guy's still talking to him, like, you're still talking to him, he's like, you don't have emotions because, they put this thing in you, and you remove it, and you'll feel, all the shit. He's still telling him, like, it's fine, and he gives him shit. He's like, you only gave me 5 minutes. They fucking shot down my ship. I had to live, like, I forget how he said, he crash landed somewhere. He had to, live like fucking shit for a while till he got his shit together. But, and that's Bokeem Woodbine. This guy is, I can't fucking remember his name on the show, but I'm pretty sure that's Bokeem Woodbine. And, they take this, like, gas, him and his wife do this, like, gas shit. And the girl doesn't want it. His friend, Master Chief's now friend. But he's there, and then he's like, listen, I know someone who might know a little bit of this artifact, so they go to another area where I guess these people are in jail and everybody's bugging out. It's almost like a Silence of the Lamb type scene. But they go talk to the guy. The guy's a little bit fucking crazy. And he's talking about the artifact, and then Master Chief touches it again, and shit happens, and fucking everybody starts bugging out, like all the people in the place. And he's like, all right, listen, I gotta leave. Other things probably happened. Like I said, I probably forgot shit, unfortunately. A lot of it takes place on that thing, and then there's a couple other scenes where they show the Cortana, who's in, like, a pod. Now, I don't know. I assume she's going to be the AI, right? Like, I don't know. She looks completely human and things. she's the next thing. She's gonna make all the soldiers better. They're gonna listen. They're not gonna fucking get out of line or whatever the fuck, So that kind of stuff's going on too. And so they're still in this place, and eventually Master Chief's like, okay, I'm going back to Halsey. I'm going back to Reach. And he doesn't take Quan with him. And she's like, come on, you got to. And he's like, listen, you're better off staying here. They'll keep you safe. So he leaves and goes back. Gets arrested, right? They arrest him. They put him in a cell. They don't obviously kill him or anything. And Halsey talks to him. And, he's like, she's like, well, why'd you come back? And he's like, you're the only one I can trust, and that pleases her. Because I think I'm trying to think of the games too. I think she does love the Spartans, like, it's kind of like kids, but like they're her fucking thing, And I assume he'll get out of fucking jail soon because I want to talk to him about the thing and shit. Master Chief showing emotions, So that's obviously different from the thing. He does have a bit of the personality of the Master Chief, but it's just it's a different kind of fucking thing. And you have, like I said, his helmet's off pretty much almost his fucking whole episode. So, and like I can't knock it for it because you had to do it if you're gonna make him the forefront. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could have did a Mandalorian. I haven't watched the Mandalorian, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't show his face for a while, right? They could have probably held off, honestly, but whatever. You gotta temper your expectations with this shit. You really do. I'm coming at it from this. I'm like, you know what? I can accept the fucking differences. I really want to see more Covenant shit. The crazy thing is, I want to see more of the Covenant shit. I actually want to see the Covenant fucking shit up. Like they did in the beginning of that first episode. Like, I want to see them fucking shit up. Maybe by the end, I think there's going to be 9 episodes in this season. I'm hoping the Flood gets maybe introduced. Was it this episode or was it the last one? No, maybe it's this. Maybe this happened in the second episode. I can't remember now, but I think the second time he touches the thing, or maybe it's he sees the ring. Like he sees a Halo ring, but I think they just call it a ring. Or maybe the Elite mentions that, I forget what the fuck, but the ring is mentioned, so you see a Halo ring. So I'm hoping there's no way they're fucking leaving the Flood out of this shit. Now I can understand if they come in the last episode of this season or maybe early next season, but they have to be alluded to at this point because if the Flood ain't in it, I probably will check out because, in the original Halo, that's when the shit, you're like, what the fuck? This just became a sci-fi horror game. Yes, like, what's happening here? But the reason, obviously, the rings are fucking made to fucking eradicate the fucking food source for the Flood, which is any fucking organic life form. And the Flood was the precursors and the forerunners, but the precursors made everything. I'm probably fucking this up, but... And then they fought, and then, like, precursor dust became the fucking Flood. Like, I think something like that I read. But I don't want to see fucking hunters. I want to see fucking grunts. I want to see, I want to see other fucking... I want to see fucking more Covenant shit in the next... Because Covenant only had that one scene, I'm pretty sure. And it was maybe, like, 5 minutes. I don't mind the addition of the person that the Covenant have, although that would have never happened, right? Because the Covenant were not bringing humans into the mix. I don't mind it, whatever, Like I said, you can't expect the games. You can't even expect the novels or anything at this point. It's its own thing. I'm sure they're going to bring elements in, and maybe it kind of gets to the game. Maybe the original Combat Evolved, and fucking, maybe goes from there and be like, oh, fuck, the Flood's coming. We got to stop them from activating the ring. Right, because don't the Covenant want to activate the rings because they think they don't know that they read like a Forerunner thing wrong and they think it's gonna help them, but they don't realize it's gonna destroy everything. That's what was so cool about the fucking Flood. They come out and they're fucking everything up. I remember playing the first game, and you would come and start running in, and you'd see fucking the Flood and the Covenant fighting each other. So cool, man. Fuck, the first fucking Halo is a masterpiece. God damn it. But this show's not bad. I would give this episode, honestly, about a 6.5. I think I said 7.5 for the other one. This one's still good. But it's very slow going. A lot of talking, not enough fucking fighting, right? Which is fine. There's gonna be episodes like that, just to kind of move things along and stuff. I probably forgot a few things. Like I said, I gotta film these, like, at least film them the next day or the same after I watch it, so it's fresh in my mind, and I don't need to necessarily upload it immediately, but upload it. I already have it done, so I'm not fucking missing anything. I'm forgetting names and shit too. That's a problem. It wasn't bad though. Like I said, temper. I don't want to say lower your expectations because people shouldn't do that. Temper them though. Not accept. If you're not gonna like it, you're not gonna like it. And there's obviously nothing wrong with fucking not liking it. But don't just look at it from a different thing. I mean, listen, they could completely. All of a sudden, the flood don't appear. Oh, there's no hunters. Who the fuck knows? I hope not, though. I want to see more. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe if anybody else is watching, let me know. Like, if you're just like, I want to see more Covenant shit. Like, that's the funny thing. Even when playing the games, I was always so fucking intrigued and into like the Covenant. I almost wanted them to win. And then obviously in the second game, you fucking use the Arbiter, and then the groups of the Covenant splinter off. But yeah, it was pretty good episode. 6.5, better than average, but not by much. But like I said, they were doing specific things. They were kind of moving some story along. And then, at the end of the episode, Cortana's in the pod, or whatever's going to be Cortana, and her eyes open. I don't know how they're going to do that, because she looks life-size. Like, I don't know. Yeah, because I think this other guy walks by her, and he's like, she's life-size in that thing. Like, I don't know how that's going to work. I can't remember how it works. I know she's the AI, and they puts her in the back of the thing, but I don't know. It's been a while since I've played Infinite recently, but I'm trying to remember, like, the shit from that. But anyway, it was a pretty good episode, and I might have forgotten some shit there, but anyway, thanks everyone for checking this out, and have a good night.